Well, I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of us are, but I'm really stressing for money. I'm feeling burnt out. The economy's shot to shit to the point where if I make $5, I already spent $10 in the time I made $5. That's kind of how the inflation is, and I can't seem to save enough money to invest when I want to. Like today, there was a dip in the market. Google was up, but Microsoft and Nvidia were both down. Good time to buy. Nvidia was really down today, and had I the cash to do some day trading like that, I would do it. But I feel like I'm still recuperating on the rebound from my life being upended, from being told that I have to vacate my house and put everything in storage and move out of there. And I had my house broken into, everything ripped up. All the cables, the wiring have to be redone. Ceiling caved in. Basement flooded. And now everything is just trying to, I'm just kind of reorganize stuff, and I'm working on trying to figure out a way to fix up my house a little better so I could rent it out. I'm really, and I'd like to do my garden too. I'd like to get the garden going and make some art. I really feel like in a few more days, I'm going to have such a migraine headache between all the pollen, this weather getting cold, and the stress of worrying how the fuck I'm going to pay for everything. It's just, I mean, I've been very, I don't know, it's like I had to continually quit my job to take care of my parents and ultimately become a full-time caregiver, and I made taking care of my dad the priority, and taking care of the house the priority, and making sure the art is safe and sound the priority, and trying to establish a business for us the priority, all while the major priority was keeping my dad alive. And it was a sacrifice I made for my heart, because that was it. And when he died, I looked at my brother, and it was as if he didn't get it, and he turned to me and he goes, "Just imagine Dad went on a trip somewhere, and don't call people up crying, and just and then he starts telling me, that I said, Dad left us a lot of debt, and he left us some beautiful artwork, and I have to preserve and protect it, and ultimately sell it, because we are in debt because of you." And his response was, "Yeah, that's all bullshit. And he just yelled at us when he was making it. All he did was yell at us." And I said, "No, James, he didn't."
In 5 miles, take exit 3 toward New
I've been in court
Bedford.
ever since my dad died, and feeling beyond humiliated and violated that the court allowed this, my brother facilitated this, 2 years of inconveniencing me. It cost me several jobs. I had 2 instances where he interrupted me in the middle of working for a client, and it was recorded. And I had promised, "Hey, it's confidential, this place," and he kept saying, "Oh, it says it's on his driver's license, that he lives there." And so now we're both co-administrators. However, his non-cooperation and debt to the estate is going to deem his co-administrator status null and void in the very near future. And instead of reaching out to me and trying to cooperate and participate in this estate and managing it and doing what needs to be done, and that includes selling off some of the art, as well as those 2 old used cars, he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. And he even said that on court. He says, I don't want anything to do with the house. I just want to get my stuff out of there. So he still hasn't gotten his stuff out of there. And when I have an inventory due in the fall, before the court, it's going to show that he's not paying for the storage of his stuff there. And I think at that point, you know, I'm still going to be the bigger person and be like, okay, he has a bunch of stuff there, but it's been protected from flood damage and secured inside the house, and none of it's been damaged as he alleges, which all those allegations have been dismissed, and it's under lock and key, which doesn't mean he has the liberty to come and go and access it as he pleases, especially if he's not going to pay to keep it there and access my private living quarters, where I sleep, and pay, you know, to live there. And it's like we had a very, you know, candid conversation about all this, and he wants to kind of hold this over my head, also continually perpetuate the anxiety of it. Any moment he's going to break in there like he did when I was in Canada, when I wasn't there for an extended period of time. I'm still recuperating from that, and it's interrupted a lot of the consultations I had to do with lawyers, the to and from the storage, the court interrupted my workflow, and I find my expenses just to maintain are so astronomical that I'm wondering, like, gosh, you know, if I don't do something soon, I'm gonna have to do something really different. And I may end up very well having to take on even more work than I can handle at this point. And you know, if it's gonna be the death of me, I'll die defending my land, you know, and struggle and suffer. But I hope that I have some children before that happens, because I'm not getting any younger. I feel more cynical as I've gotten older.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left.
I'm wiser, and I find that for certain things I'm much more forgiving, but for other things, now that both my parents are gone and I don't have any children, I love Lerma very much, and my closest friends. I love you too, but I'm gonna be 50, and I'm thinking about putting on a Superman cape or a Spider-Man costume, and doing like a kill the Taliban bad guy for hire kind of shit. For real, like, I just have so much anger and disgust and aggression in me at this point towards a lot of things. I feel like I've been held back from doing what I want to do, and now I'm like fucked with money, and I want to do it legally. I want to make the money fast legally. Please help me if you're watching this. This is someone who's expressing their mental health issues out loud, having held the hand of the devil and been seated at the table with evil. I know firsthand how easy it is to get fast money, was scared straight as a teenager. I've never looked back. I've never had to look over my shoulder. I sleep well most nights if I'm not in pain. But at this point, having thought about things and felt like, well, you know what, I do want to make a difference, you know, and my dad's not here, and like, I want to make some art, but I need some money to take care of shit so I can have peace of mind and make art. That would be, for me, a certain kind of peace of mind. It's a medicinal thing to play the blues, sing, dance, and jump up and down. When you're sad, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but I really like to paint, make art. I'm going to try to work on some of that when I have a little bit of a break.
Turn left on Cox Avenue.
Because I'm at the point of like, wow, dude, like really, life is like, it costs me X, Y, and Z. Car insurance, car payment, mortgage, electricity bill, Easy Pass, NYSEG, freaking oil, Apple, Google. These are all these bills I pay, among other bullshit, tickets and shit like that. And I know everybody else is in the same boat. I managed to, when I wasn't taking care of my parents, to work very hard and get by
Turn right to stay on Cox Avenue.
in such a way that I did have some time to enjoy life and not feel this extreme anxiety about money. But I've also never really accomplished anything of any meaningful significance in my life financially to speak of. So maybe now's the time. And I've seen come-ups, you know, $10,000 in a 10-bagger, $10,000 cash, 10% goes up, and a year it's $100,000. That $100,000, 10%, next year that's $1 million. And people like not get caught doing dumb shit, and then I've seen them get caught, and then I've seen the ones who are just kind of like, well, it's part of the game, man, you know. And I was like, nope, that's not the part of the game I'm trying to play, you know. So everybody has their own thing, and I guess they say, hey, you know, don't do the crime if you won't do the time, you know, and don't mess with the long arm of the law. So, you know, if you have a license to kill, it's all the better. And the way things are, if I can prevent World War III, and I have the opportunity, I'd fucking do it now. And I hope the person who does have the ability to call in a surgical strike, not just with drones, but an actual assassination of our enemies, every single one of them. And I don't want to name the specific dictators, because I've already mentioned Vladimir Putin and the leader of North Korea and his sister. The Ayatollah of Iran, you know, I mean, there's a lot of, and the Sultan of Bahrain, you know, I mean, there's a lot of folks out there who need to be reeled in, maybe not necessarily assassinated, but we need to get these people out of positions of power in their country
Turn right.
before
Turn right.
the whole planet's polluted.